Hello, I'm your anchorman for today. My name is Louis Lintag, and welcome to WH News UC. By the 1900s, European rule was imposed throughout all of Africa. By the end of World War II, however, many Europeans realized that colonial rule was nearing its end. This belief was heavily supported by the United Nations Charter, which stated that all colonial peoples should have the right to self-determination. More on this topic, Alexis Dominguez. Alexis?
I'm Alexis Dominguez, coming to you live from South Africa. The black population has formed organizations like the African National Congress, known as the ANC, to stop the white ruling population. The white population consists mainly of Dutch settlers who are not giving up this fight because they want to maintain control of South Africa. They have made a system of racial segregation laws that have segregated education, medical care, beaches, and other public services. The black population is here today to lead a peaceful march against injustice in their city. Oh no. Sir, are you okay?
Sorry folks, looks like we're having some technical difficulties. But as Ms. Dominguez stated, tensions in South Africa are beginning to rise as citizens rally for their independence. In related news, as a result of campaigns such as that of ANC, some African nations have gained their independence. But with the formation of new nations comes new problems. The newly independent African states face economic, political, and health challenges. Here to bring you more information, Ryan McCullough. Ryan?
Thank you, Louis. I'm here in a developing nation in Africa. Many countries in this region have recently gained their independence from countries that colonized them in the past. Taking control now are Western educated elites intent on following the Western democratic model. For the most part, these countries will have capitalist or socialist economies. Some have a different view on the direction that countries in Africa should take. Pan-Africanism is the idea that all indigenous inhabitants of Africa should be in the same political union. It is difficult to predict where these countries go, but we do know that they face problems now. The epidemic of AIDS is a worldwide problem with 35 million affected by it today. Africa is at the center of this problem with 25 million of those affected living here. Other outstanding problems are drought, rapid population growth, inflated military budget, and all luxury goods going to the rich. It'll take time for these problems to pass, but in the meantime you can help by donating.
Thank you, Ryan. The prevalence of AIDS has become a serious epidemic. If you would like to donate, please call this toll-free number.
800-588-2300 today.
In past news, we look back at the beginning of turmoil between Iran and Iraq. By 1979, an Iranian revolution set up an Islamic republic. While in Iraq, the dictatorship of Saddam Hussein strengthened his role in the Middle East. Alex Bustos?
Thank you, Louis. There have been many events that have happened around the world. Some of the most horrible events happen when countries attack each other. For example, Most Iranians are Shia Muslims, and people from Iraq are mostly Sunni Muslims. This difference in religion has led to disputes, making these two countries have a long, uneasy relationship. Another thing that has led to disputes is territory over the Strait Hormuz. The Strait Hormuz became very important to both countries because it connected the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. In 1980, Iraqi President Saddam Hussein launched an attack on Iran, creating a brutal war. Children were used to clear minefields, and poison gas was used against civilians, especially the Kurds. The war dragged on for 8 years, but in the end, their basic issues were never resolved. Hopefully in the future, they can get along. Back to you, Lewis.
Thank you, Alex. Speaking of turmoil, over the past few years, the number of terrorist attacks have seemed to be on the high. One particular event has affected the lives of thousands of Americans. It has not only served as a wake-up call for the US, but also for countries all over the world. More on the roots of the 9/11 attack, Sean Barte. Sean?
Thank you, Lewis. The attacks performed on a day many have scarred in their minds, 9/11, were and are still found to be truly devastating, considering the many people affected and the area around it. But what was happening in the scenes prior to the attack? It was directed by Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda. He had terrorists hijack 4 commercial jets in Boston, Newark, and Washington, D.C. 2 airplanes were flown into the World Trade Center, which was located in New York City, causing large heaps of destruction. The 3rd flew into the Pentagon of Arlington, Virginia, while the 4th flew into an isolated field in Virginia where it was supposed to be targeted at Washington, D.C. In all, many thousands were killed due to this. Now, I'll show you a clip of the 9/11 attack.
Not appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
Terrible.
Has
I
just
did not
hit.
see a plane go in. That just exploded.
We just saw another plane coming in from the side.
You did. I did. That was out of
Yes, and
my
that's
view.
the second explosion. You could see the plane come in just from the right-hand side of the screen. So this looks like it is some sort of a concerted.
Is human loss. I mean, do you know if there were many people in the building?
Oh, another one just hit. Something else just hit. A very large plane just flew directly over my building, and there's been another collision. Can you see it? I can see it on the shot.
Oh my.
Something else has
You know what?
and
We
that
just
looks
saw
more
a
like
plane circling the
747.
building.
It is in the other building.
Has just collapsed, as if a demolition team set off. When you see the old demolitions of these old buildings, it folded down on itself, and it is not there anymore.
That should be it.
It
Thanks
has
very much,
completely
Dan.
collapsed.
The whole side has
The
collapsed?
whole building has collapsed.
The whole building has collapsed?
The building has
Southern
collapsed.
Tower you're talking about.
Exactly. The second.
Let's take a moment of silence for all the lives lost during the attack of 9/11.
May their souls rest in peace. And that concludes today's news. Once again, I'm your anchorman, Luis Lintag, and this is WH News UC.